0.06 billion that has been received. It means that from January 2025 to date, 4.9 billion has been released by the Ministry of Finance and National Planning through the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development to support CDF projects across the country. So that's a huge amount of money, 4.9 billion that's been released. But let's note that for 2025, the national budget set aside 5,625 million and 71,493 kwacha as the total CDF allocation for the country. So with 4.9 billion already dispersed, it implies that there's 717,371,892 that is yet to be dispersed by the Ministry of Finance in order for us to accomplish what was set out in the budget for this year. So this is only October, and we are therefore reporting a 76% performance rate for CDF utilization. And you can attest to it that what the data shows here is that CDF utilization has gone up, and we see an upward trend. So all the systems and mechanisms that the government has put in place in order to encourage CDF utilization actually bearing fruit. And this fruit can be measured by a single variable, and this variable is utilization of CDF and the performance of it. I'm therefore confident that the latest disbursement that has been provided to local authorities will be used for the purposes that it's intended, to support the living standards of our people in the different communities that this money is intended to serve. The President has been very emphatic in ensuring that CDF goes right to the grassroots and is spent for the purposes for which it has been created. Let me also take this opportunity, colleagues, in closing on the issue of CDF, to introduce the latest, or basically to update the nation on the latest conversations around cash for work. We have seen in media and different conversations that the cash for work program has been suspended. And I think those are some of the things that have been going on. But I want to clarify that the cash for work program has not been suspended in the strict terms of the word suspended. What has essentially happened is that the cash for work program was a program that was put in place by the government as a response to the drought, the worst drought that affected this country. But there was an announcement and presidential directive that the cash for work program will continue beyond the drought period. But what that meant is that we have to then incorporate districts that were not covered under the drought response program. So there is a transition period moving from selected districts, 84 districts if you remember very well that were drought affected, to covering all the districts across the country. So in this transition period, we are looking at data that essentially is showing us that there were some gaps in the implementation of cash for work. And in addressing those gaps and ensuring that we reconcile our accounts and start on a fresh note, we have a respite period, a period of rest in between. But this is not to say the program has been suspended in strict terms. So we are reconfiguring the guidelines around cash for work to ensure that it's properly targeted to benefit the intended beneficiaries. We are also